Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to explain when and how to use the simple future tense. When we talk about future, there are many ways to talk about future, but the simple future tense is one of those ways that I will explain in this video. By the end of the class, you will be able to use the simple future tense to talk about future events. Are you ready to begin the lesson? Let's begin. What is the simple future tense? The simple future expresses actions or events that will happen in the future after now. Let's look at the diagram. See, the action happen after now. The actions happen after now. We use the simple future tense. For example, I will help you do your homework. I will help you do your homework. Will help you is the simple future tense. Or they will get married next month. Next month is a future time expression in which they will get married. The mechanic will fix your car tomorrow. Tomorrow is a future time, and the mechanic will fix your car tomorrow. My brother will move to Canada next week. Here, next week is a future time, and we use the simple future tense to talk about future event. My brother will move to Canada next week. This action happens in the future, tomorrow, next week. Note, the simple future tense is also used to make prediction about the future. Now, what is prediction? Prediction is an idea about something that the speaker thinks will be true or will happen in the future. Let's look at some examples and make some prediction. It will rain tomorrow. It's a prediction. It may happen or it may not happen. It will rain tomorrow. It may rain or it may not rain. It will not warm up for several days. Is also a prediction. The computers will be the main teachers in classrooms in the future. The people are thinking that the computers will be the main teachers in classroom. The people are making prediction. Okay? Time expressions that are used in simple future tense are on Monday, on Tuesday, next Monday, next Friday, tonight, 2 nights later, next week, 3 weeks later, next month, 2 months later, 4 months later, next year, 5 years later, tomorrow, 3 days later, in 2013, in 2025, in 2050, etc. In May, in June, on June 15, on May 16, on July 18, etc. In the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon, etc. There are many types of future time expression. Let's look at some examples. We will take an English class on Monday. On Monday is a future time expression on which we will take an English class. I will go to my uncle's house tonight. She will buy a new computer next week. He will graduate from university 3 months later. My brother will get married next year. I will meet my friends tomorrow. She will move to Australia on June 15. I will talk to my teacher in the morning. The words that are in red color are the future time expression that talk about future. Let's move on. Subjects that are used in tenses or in the simple future tense. I, we, you, they, he, she, and it. Helping verb. We have only one helping verb in the simple future tense, will. Will is used with all the subjects. Main verbs. The main verbs are used in base form or the first form of the verb. The main structure that we use in simple future tense is subject plus will plus main verb plus object or complement. Let's make some examples using this structure. Positive. Subject plus will plus main verb plus object. I will read that book. We will read that book. You will read that book. They will read that book. He will read that book. She will read that book. And it will read that book. Let's look at some more examples. They will go to cinema tonight. It will rain tomorrow. Negative. Subject will plus negative adverb not. We use not after the helping verb. Not follows the helping verb. We use this negative adverb not to make the meaning of the sentence negative. Plus main verb plus object. I will not read that book. We will not read that book. You will not read that book. They will not read that book. He will not read that book. She will not read that book. And it will not read that book. They will not go to cinema tonight is the negative form of they will go to cinema tonight. It will not rain tomorrow is the negative form of it will rain tomorrow. Interrogative. In interrogative sentence, will comes at the beginning of the sentence. Will plus subject plus main verb plus object. Will I read that book? Will we read that book? Will you read that book? Will they read that book? Will he read that book? Will she read that book? Will it read that book? Will they go to cinema tonight is the interrogative form of they will go to cinema tonight. And will it rain tomorrow is the interrogative form of it will rain tomorrow, etc. Let's move on. Positive contraction forms in simple future tense. Will is generally contracted with pronouns in both speaking and in formal writing, but we cannot use contraction in formal writing or in academic writing. I will becomes I'll. Now, we contract will with pronouns. I will becomes I'll. We will becomes will. You will becomes you'll. They will becomes they'll. He will becomes he'll. She will becomes she'll. And it will becomes it'll. Let's look at some example. They'll shovel the snow. You'll pass the final examination. He'll go to university tomorrow. We'll graduate from medical school. And it'll rain tomorrow. Will is also often contracted in spoken English and very informal writing with other kinds of pronouns and there. For example, there will be very dangerous to go. Nobody will play football. That will be wonderful, etc. Will is also often contracted with nouns in speaking but not in writing. We cannot contract well with nouns in writing, but we can use it in conversation or in speaking. For example, spoken, John will win the match. Written, John will win the match. Spoken, Mike will be kind and passionate with the kids. Written, Mike will be kind and passionate with the kids, etc. Negative contraction form. Note, we use contraction when we are speaking or writing informally. Will not becomes won't. Now we contract will with the negative adverb not. Okay, for example, I will not becomes I won't. We will not becomes we won't. You will not becomes you won't. They will not becomes they won't. He will not becomes he won't. She will not becomes she won't. It will not becomes it won't. Let's look at some examples. They won't shovel the snow. You won't pass the final examination. He won't go to university tomorrow. We won't graduate from medical school next year. And it won't rain tomorrow. Shall. In North America, we usually don't use shall in the sentences instead of will, because shall is very formal and little old-fashioned. It is usually not used, but we sometimes use shall with subjects we and I to create polite question. When we are asking a question politely, we can use shall. For example, shall I order a pizza? Or shall I take you to whom? Or shall we play game together? Or shall we begin the lesson? Etc. Let's move on. Short answers in the simple future tense. How to give short answer? When your friend asks you a question, you don't need to answer his or her question using a long sentence or repeating the whole question to answer his or her question, because there is a possibility that you can answer his or her question in a very short manner. How to give short answer? The way the question starts is the way you will be able to answer it. How? For example, if the question starts with will, you can answer it with will or won't. Let's look at some examples. The questions, the short answers. Will they get married on Friday? If they get married on Friday, yes, they will. If they don't get married on Friday, no, they won't. Or, will you help me do my homework? Yes, I will. Or, no, I won't. Will she clean the windows? Yes, she will. No, she won't. Will he come back home? Yes, he will. Or, no, he won't. Will we meet each other next week? Yes, we will. No, we won't. Will it rain tomorrow? Yes, it will. No, it won't. Some more examples. You will have lunch with us today is the positive form. You will not have lunch with us today, negative. And will you have lunch with us today, interrogative. She will teach you English grammar, positive. She will not teach you English grammar, in negative. Will she teach you English grammar, interrogative. They will play soccer tonight, positive. They will not play soccer tonight, negative. Will they play soccer tonight, interrogative, etc. WH question in simple future tense. How to use WH question in the simple future tense. So WH question comes at the beginning of the interrogative sentence, at the beginning of the sentence. For example, what will she have for dinner tonight? It comes before the helping verb will. What will she have for dinner tonight? Or, where will you meet John? When will your plan leave? Who will talk to you? Why will he leave the class earlier? Whom will we work with? or how will she do her assignments, etc. That's it. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Turn on the bell notification so that you know when I publish a new English video here on YouTube. And if